Well, this month kind of came and went, honestly, especially since, it is Lolicon Pride Month, or will used to be it, because in a few hours it probably won't be anymore. But when it comes down to things, while we're still in the month of April, I definitely do want to bring up one last Lolly video, at least for this month, because I swear next time we actually have, the time and space and, presence to actually do things, I definitely want to consider doing a lot of things during Lolicon Pride Month, honestly, if I ever get my opportunity to become something. But honestly, I do want to do something a bit different than I usually do. Because usually when we talk about lollies and shit, it's either out of something lewd, or it's out of something serious and a talking point, and all that type of stuff. But I don't ever really think I made a video talking about, personally for me, why do I still like lolly, or what honestly intrigues me about it that makes me stay with it, honestly. I don't think I ever did something like that, so that's what this video is, honestly. There's not really much to tell with it, because I would imagine the obvious answers are there, but I'll go ahead and run down through them. Number one big fat obvious reason, and the ultimate reason of all reasons, Konako. Konako is a lolly. I absolutely love Konako. As you would know, if I could make a whole planet for her, I would do it. But when it comes down to things, she's like the fattest reason. She's like one of the bigger, fatter reasons, honestly. And yeah, I know she doesn't necessarily have a lot of official, material and content. And even when it comes to Gentai, she only has like 7 maybe pages, which is split between good content and actually kind of trash, which is some nonsense. Only didn't have. And then we look at the Dojin side of her. She doesn't have a recent Dojin, and the last Dojin she's really had was like 7 to 8 years old, which is some nonsense. So yeah, don't get me wrong, Konako doesn't have a lot of stuff, and I wish she did. But when it comes down to things, I still love Konako. I still enjoy her. I wouldn't bought so much. I wouldn't, honestly, if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't bought into, I would say maybe publicly, a lot about the lolly material and, the whole trope of it and everything about it and stuff like that. I probably wouldn't have bought into it if it wasn't for her. So when it comes down to things, you can thank my wife Konako for that one. So thank you, baby. Anyway, when it comes down to things, the second one I would probably say is probably just the intrigue and curiosity when it comes to, lolicons and their logic when it comes down to things. Because I was like, I mean, granted, I liked Pan from back in the day. I had Sasami from back in the day. But outside that, I never, dedicated myself to be like a full-blown lolicon person or be open about it in some shape or form. So I was like, okay, so it's a problem to a lot of people. But why? Let me actually go ahead and talk to, some actual lolicons that's within the community in anime, and then see why do they don't, get the respect that they might need, honestly, or why do they get looked down upon or something like that. And obviously by talking to a lot of people, interacting with them, I kind of understand what is going on with it, and then that made me go even further to learn a lot more, and now I completely understand things. And it is kind of sad that they do get ran through like a train, and it sucks sometimes. But also at the same time, so I can also see where people kind of don't really like lolicons at the same time, because a lot of points they do have does make a fair bit amount of sense, but also really doesn't for the majority, honestly. But when it comes down to things, the level of curiosity I had and intrigue, especially because, I was bored at the time, plus I did want to know a little bit more about why no one really likes this part of anime, and I just wanted to know more, and honestly that just led me down the deepest rabbit hole I ever been on. And I learned a lot of shit from it too, in the anime industry and how it is and everything like that. So it wasn't a complete loss of time, honestly. And that's why I even made that whole playlist about lollies and shit. So, if someone ever wanted to come through, maybe watch a fun video or maybe learn something about it, then there you go, honestly. As far as the Gentai goes, why do I not necessarily mind Lolicon and Lolly Gentai, honestly? Because it looks good. Now here's the thing when it comes down to just anything in general when it comes to me. If it doesn't necessarily look good, or the quality isn't there, or it's not hitting the points I like to see when it comes to a certain character, then I'm probably not gonna download the picture or even like it. That's just literally how I am. Because I feel like the quality in the art in the picture has to matter, and not just, you just drawing a character for the sake of you drawing a character. That's not how that works for me. Because I like to save those pictures and just have them in the collection or some reason. I don't necessarily know why, but I just often do. So when I see a Lolly picture or something like that, when it comes to Gentai, I might download it, I might not. The main reason why I probably won't is, again, because the quality is not necessarily there. There has been countless of pictures of characters I honestly like, and countless pictures of Lolicon, characters put into really good positions. But if they're just being put into positions and the quality of the art is not there, and it doesn't look good, or it's not necessarily what I expected it to be, or there is something just in the picture that I don't necessarily like, then I'm probably not going to necessarily respond to it, or even like it, or even do anything with it, and it's just going to be sitting there. I can't tell you how many times there's been pictures where I'm just like, damn, this looks really good, that lolly getting it in, and then at the same time, there's some old effing dude in the background, or something weird in the background, that just completely throws out their whole picture. Like, that's literally how it is for me. Like, there could be one thing that's in the background in the picture, or somebody in the picture, and they completely ruin what it is, and then I'm just like, yeah, I'm not necessarily effing with that. A good ass Konica picture can be utilized in this sort of situation. There is a tons of good Konica pictures and content when it comes to her. Honestly, there's a fair good amount of them. But if I see Issei's bitch ass face, I don't want to see that piece of shit. I don't want to see that at all. So of course I'm not gonna necessarily download the picture. The art might be good, but I'm not gonna download it because F that boy right there. Hell no, he's a cunt. But when it comes down to things, that's kind of the situations I'll be put into. Maybe some people don't get bothered by this, but that's just some of the things that does bother me, and that's the reason why I kind of like a lot of the art and stuff, honestly, when it comes to the Lolis side. If it looks pretty, I'ma like it. That just kind of is what it is, honestly. And that's why we kind of also have an artist appreciation half the time too. And the small more reason of why I like Lolly, and kind of the most basic one, is why not? Mainly because it's just like, already we don't really have a lot of information about Lolly in anime, much less people do not necessarily talk about it outside of talking about it that like it's trash and it's bad and morally wrong. And you also have the fact that people make memes with the FBI or something else where somebody's like interrupting the video or something stupid. It's always a constant fluctuation. Is that even a word? I don't even know. But it's always a constant thing with that sort of material. When it comes to lollies, there's never anything positive to say about it, honestly. Even though lollies, without them, we wouldn't have cat girls like that. We wouldn't have, Gentai in a way. We wouldn't have a lot of things without them taking the first step. So the fact that people kind of just trash lollies like that and just don't give them the proper respect that they honestly deserve kind of sucks. And it just kind of drives me up the wall when so many people be so against it, like every other country doesn't have some type of weird media regarding younger characters or a smaller body type or something like that in different type of positions and situations. Because it's just like come on now, like it's not that deep. It's really not. And again, at the end of the day, it is all fictional content, so does it at the end of the day really matter? Not necessarily. Even if it's the most craziest looking picture of all time, but as long as it's like some anime artwork or it's just some Gentai material, it's not necessarily, all that crazy. But anyway, that's literally all I really wanted to say for this one, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on the socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Patreon is available as well. Again, I'm sorry we didn't upload a lot for this month when it comes to Lolicon material, but hopefully next year will be better. Hopefully. And until then, it's your boy Jay, sign off. Have a blessed day.